You
even mentioned it earlier. Damn it. All right.
All right, let's do
block.
it over again.
Do it all over.
TLDR.
Again.
Try catch block. We have the try
Just hit
system.
Control Z a lot of time.
Exceptions. We can overload exceptions with different exception types, and finally runs no matter what happens, whether it's good or bad. And here is a handler method that takes decisions, that takes a scenario, or takes some sort of parameter, and then decides what method is in charge of handling that situation. So it doesn't, it very rarely, the only logic it does is decide who should go, what methods should go. So it can do multiple of those. The main thing of a handler is that it just handles a scenario and decides what should happen. And then it can pass on the control. All right, let's do a very simple add product. For the time being, since we're creating this method because this method told us to do it, we're going to create a private one.
Cliff, couldn't you just take the methods from one of the other, say, products or
Probably.
the store and just import that in there?
Yes and no. We're definitely going to use that method, but we still need to get the data, don't we?
Yeah.
So this
would it-
method here is to ask the user for the details we need. If that makes
Okay.
sense. Yeah, we need to
So
know
the
what questions to ask, what data do we need, and then run the right method. So you're in the right path, just we need to ask the right method. So if I bring
Oh, so this
product
is
over-
it basically
Sorry, it's not product.
puts the system in for the
Yeah, this is just the
user input.
interface. Yep.
Okay.
Just the user interface. Yep.
And this method has to be static too, right?
Oh yeah, probably.
There you go.
Everything is, right?
Yeah, everything.
Private, I don't know because we're only accessing it internally. So it might not need the static thing. This might be assumed, but we'll put it there just to be safe. Anyway. First things first, we definitely need to know what if we're adding a fruit or a drink. That's what we need to ask. So now we need to print out another list of potential selections, right? We need another one of these, don't we? Another option menu.
Mm.
I wouldn't know how to code another one of these, do I? It's got to be an easier way to do this, huh?
Yes. Oh,
Sounds like it
insert.
might be, right? Yeah, I mean, we make something more dynamic. So I'm going to try doing this. Let's take a look at this for a second. I'm also going to do this as that. Final. That something in there, and then new. That.
Oh.
Oh, I didn't get the double quotes.
Got it. Okay.
Almost back in now.
E.
Oops. I forgot the data type. String. Brackets. New string. Okay. Bracket. And this one we'll do again. 1.bring string. Dot. And hopefully I spell things right. I'm having trouble with that for some reason. Read for some reason. With that, we can probably turn this option menu into a display options method, right?
Mhm.
Let's do that. Let's do display options. We're going to need a string prompt and a string array of options. Right? What I'm going to do here is do s out. Here I'm going to do prompt and for.
Oh, could you hold on just a second, please?
I'll finish this line.
Okay. Okay.
There we go.
Prompt and
Oh, also semicolon line 19, by the way. Technically an extra semicolon, an extra comma, but Java doesn't care about that. Which is good. You guys catch up. I forgot about that portion. Let you do that. That's important.
okay, I'm caught up now.
Anybody else need another minute?
I could use it.
No worries. I know I can type a little fast now. I'm catching up, like I said, my speed again. So tell me when you need the time. I'm okay.
Where am I?
What was the type training app that you used again?
Typing ed. Typing club, sorry, typing club. It's called typingclub.com. Like, yeah, I know I was already decent enough as a typer as it is, but I was able to use it to learn a new layout pretty quickly. I've been doing it
What?
for about a month. So maybe almost 2. What were people saying? Was there a question? No? Okay. Yeah, just a month or 2 and you can have 50 words per minute possibly. Last thing I'll show you guys is if you're curious what your typing skill is, what your current skill level is, to see if you can improve, or if you're decent at least, use some called type racer, I think it's called.
Oh, I remember that.
Or it's called. Gotta check there's another one as well.
Good.
Oh, that's what it is. So you can use type racer, but I do feel type racer can be a little laggy. So if you want to test your typing speed, monkey type, monkey see monkey type is the name of the site really. Monkey see monkey type is monkeytype.com. Just going to it, it instantly gives you a little paragraph that you can type to get your words per minute. So you can see how you do. So you can see, do I need to improve my speed or do I have at least decent? I would say you guys probably should be shooting for at least 30 minimum. So 50 would be nice.
Going down.
Yay. Well, that's the timer. Sorry.
Oh.
That's not my speed.
I thought so too. I thought it was like, oh, that's your speed here.
I also really wasn't even trying. But there. So this is kind of what you want to shoot for. This kind of 50 range would be nice to have. 30 is fine, but if you're getting below 30, I would personally say that you might want to consider just practicing once in a while, because that can, if you're not getting 30, you're probably getting 10 or less. If you're not hitting 30, if you're hitting 20, 10, you're struggling to type things. It's going to be I would say it's probably going to affect your interview, or at least the test part of the interview. So try it out once, monkey see, monkey type, just monkeytype.com, see what you get. Don't do it right now. Right now? No, not right now. After class.
I didn't know I could type without looking, but I guess I can.
There you go. But again, I won't tell anybody here that you have to do it to get a job. You don't have to be able to blind type to do a job. You don't have to be a touch typer to be able to get a job as coding. What
Oh,
I
I
will
just
say
did
is it will
70.
make you better. What?
I did 70.
70 words per minute?
Yeah.
Very good.
Try
See, there,
harding.
you've been practicing. You're good then. That's why probably you haven't told me to slow down yet. No. So right now you're typing faster than me currently. Part of it, I'm also still trying to break a little bit of my old habit. So for each option and options,
That's cool. I was not expecting that because I'm used to typing Portuguese and
Oh.
English. You know?
Look at that, yeah. But the muscle memory for the characters are still the same. Yeah, you might not,
Exactly.
you might be more familiar with Portuguese and English, but the letters are pretty much the same.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you use the same letters. So your speed with Portuguese and English is only going to be hindered by how much you have to think about what you want to type. If you're just typing with what you see, not needing to comprehend it, you're going to type as fast as you do in Portuguese. You don't have to comprehend what you're typing. Cool. So we're going to do that. So we're going to do, print this. So yeah, every option, we're going to print out the option. So now let's update our option menu here to print out those options. Let's do display options, and we're going to give it and give it the menu to print. I'm going to comment this function thing out for a second and hit play and just make sure that that still works. There we are. So now let's test this system by doing the same thing. I'm going to do add product. Let's do display options.
Oh, hold on. Can you scroll up to the
Sorry.
display option methods for 1 second?
Sorry, yep, go for it.
Oh, okay, that's it. Okay, perfect.
And then,
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Just
all
this
I
item.
needed.
And so all we're gonna do here quick is do display options. What kind of product? Give it the product types. What's cool about this is that, well, we want to get that option. So now we can again do int choice equals get int, our min, we again 1, and our max, we could even do this time now as product types dot length, right? Because that's really one of the bigger benefits we're getting here now. Why is that still yelling at me? Oh, the prompt, right? Because we know we've already talked about this before, fruit and drink in a store is probably not going to be our only product types. Hell, you guys mentioned cookware last time. And so by doing it this way now we've also turned our entire system a little more dynamic. I can very easily add a new type here and it updates the whole system in one shot. So that's where these constant values and these dynamic methods really help to empower your programs. Again, do you have to think like this way in the beginning? No, not at all. But what you want to start seeing those ways of like, could I make this more dynamic? Can I make this more, can I make this easier to upgrade, easier to change, right? I want less static values, even the strings being magical values. Just printing a bunch of random, just static strings should maybe hint to you like, ooh, can I pull this out and maybe make this something more dynamic, right? We want to add more options here, right? So a bunch of things we can do for the system. By doing this, we made it more dynamic. So let's uncomment this for a second. I'm going to very quickly just create some void versions of these three for the time being. So I'm going to do, we want to test everything. Not that. Static void, throw away product, and it's just going to do nothing. Private static void, display products. There's nothing. Unnecessary semicolons. goal is to see, does this work? So to make sure this works, we need to make sure we do the handle menu selection. So let's go up here to our start again. We got display options, we get the choice. Now let's do handle menu selection choice. Let's see what happens. Stop. Play. We know if we do any of these three, that it's just going to quit the program. If we do that, one of those, we'll check, we'll find out. Hi there, runs the method, does nothing, and exits out. So we're good. And again, add a product inventory. And right away, we get the next menu we need. And so now we have a nice quick way of generating menus, right? It's a convenient little way of making method menus by just creating arrays of options. Something you can look into later on, of course, could be to maybe is there a potential way we could maybe dynamically generate this by pulling the objects out of the inventory that we have, or out of a constructor, or by pulling the product class and finding out what child methods there are. Is there what level of dynamicism in there? So those are things you can think of. I'm not going to say whether or not that's possible, but those are things you want to also really have thinking about in your head. What are some ways we could optimize this? Right now, again, we are statically entering drink and fruit. Well, if we add another product, I may have to come here and add it, or could there be a way that I could build this array dynamically based on what child products exist? Is there a dynamic way to do this? Not going to say if there is or not. That's not what the goal, that's not the purpose of this lesson right now. But just knowing that that's a thought process can be that's the kind of thought processes you want to start trying to have. When you think of those, don't push those thoughts away, recognize them, accept them, but be like, but I don't need to do that right now to make the project work, right? Don't need that at the moment. It's cool that I can think of like that. That is definitely something I might want to look into. It's cool to know that I'm thinking of that because that is a developer thought process. But at the moment, I don't need it to make the program work. My plane doesn't take off yet, so I'm not going to worry about that yet. Cool. Remember, let's go ahead and use this cooler switch system. So let's do switch choice 1. We can do get, what is it, fruit details in this case? Drink first, okay. Drink details. Let's do that. Default. Take this out.
I was wondering if you could just put a string there. That'd be a hell of a shorthand.
Yeah, it would be awesome. I was like, nope, that's not allowed. I can't be cool like that. It's good so far. So you have 2 more methods we definitely need to do. And the get drink details can also add the drink as well. So we could do that if we wanted to. But at the same time, we can also do it this way where we say, you know what, probably not, because then we have to do the same thing twice. So let's do product. Equals or nothing. We're just going to do blank for the moment. I'm going to do, I didn't do that. New product equals the result we get drink details. Product. The result there. So that's telling us that these should return what? What should these return?
A product.
Yeah, this should return a valid product. If we have a valid product, can we add the product once we have a product? Do we have any sort of method that lets us add a product once we have it?
Yeah, we do in
The
the
add product
store.
Right here, right?
or add
We have that
inventory.
one. Cool. So that's the cool thing. So And again, I will say this, though, there's two scenarios we can do here, by the way, just to be clear. We can do a get drink details, get the details, and generate the product in this item and return the completed product. We could also get all the options and call another method that can build it, but then send it back. But for now, we're going to keep this a little simpler because I'm getting a little more into some of the weeds of things, but I wanted to see the other ways of creating these kind of things to show more generic versions of stuff. So you can use these as references for your later projects, especially maybe when you're drag racer. But let's do get the drink details. We're actually going to say is, oh, before we do that, actually, after the switch case, we're just going to simply do store, not that. Oh, right, that's not a field, is it? No, it's something in here. That's annoying. Can't do it with static. So I would have to send it with it if I do that. I'm adding another parameter to the handle new selection on line 37. I'm passing the store variable around because I'm using a static class. So
Can you make store a private, well, I guess not.
nope, because then my methods and my class is no longer static. Product.
Basically a variable, so it could be accessed throughout the whole entire class and could be just called or used.
I wonder. Let's try something quick. A static item requires it to be.
Would that be store?
Not initialized. Where's start? Here it is. Start. Start like this. Store.
That in start.
It is static, so I can't do that. When static, is that allowed? I don't think it is because I'm.
I think you can only initialize the final in the constructor if you don't assign it up there.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn it. I can't use that in a static method then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, see, because that the store is no longer a static item. Since this is not a static item,
Right.
I can't make it static. So in order to do this, I would need to make UI no longer a static class. UI would no longer be able to be a static class, or at least this method could no longer be static.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I kind of want it to be static. This doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to
You wouldn't
be.
want it to be static anyways. You don't want to instantiate more than one UI.
I could. I could instantiate a different UI for each store. So I could if I wanted to. It's not a big issue.
So why not have like a UI, an abstract UI class,
Yeah.
and then create an individual or a class for each store?
This is eventually the part of this is that this is eventually gonna become an interface. So you know what? Yeah, we're gonna get rid of static. Get rid of all your static, except for the things I need them. So that's static, that can be static. Welcome can be because it's not dynamic. Display options can be, it's fine. Start can't be. Yeah, I do need to instantiate it then, so. What did the store should have the UI? I'm starting to think that might be it, actually. Yeah, we're probably gonna end up doing that, but for now it's fine still.
Let me see.
So yeah, we're just doing UI equals new UI.start. That's the only change to main. We instantiate it and do it here. Nothing else so far has changed. As for the UI, the only thing that's changed in the UI is we added a variable called store.
Private
Start
store
is setting the value. So start store currently sets it. We might change that to the instantiation, but for now it's not a big deal. Start instantiates it or sets the value of the store. Because of that, we no longer need to send store through the variables, which I didn't want to in the first place. So now handle menu selection, put it back the way it was. Okay, so now we have access to store here. Store dot add to inventory. New product.
Yeah,
Of course,
but
it's going
this,
to yell at us right now because get drink details does not actually return anything yet.
we'd also have to make this method not static because of store.
Yeah, store's red.
Oh, right, yeah. Add product is no longer static now. Yep.
Oh, there you go.
So it's just probably void add product and then store add to inventory.
And now we're going to create that get drink details method. For the time being, this I think can be static because we're not going to use the store. So private static. Get.
Wait, so did you remove the static from the UI class itself?
No, UI doesn't get static.
Never had it.
Never had it. Yep.
Just from the start and the current
Yeah.
method we're working.
Everything else is still static.
Start and add product.
Yeah.
Start and add product are the only ones that lost their static attribute. Yeah, the class was never set to static. Only internal classes can be static, we found out. We confirmed. If I was to create a second class, that class would be static. Could be. So yeah, get drink details. Well, now let's look what the drink needs. Drink again needs a name, price, a minimum. What do we need? Because then yeah. So we need name, price, ID, description, volume, and volume unit. I need 3 ints, so I can use my int method to get those, right? So I can use my get int method for that. Now I have 3 strings I need. So what can I do there? Might not be a bad idea to maybe create a get string method just for convenience, right? So we got get int. Let's do a quick little other one we can do. Public static string. And what I can do here, I can also say can't be empty here, right? I can also say do a Boolean flag. Allow empty.
Does that have to be a capital B?
Not necessarily. I was using.
Okay.
You're right. I was technically using the class, the Boolean class, not the Boolean primitive. So not a big deal, but yeah, definitely. You want to use the primitive, you can in most cases. Do that. Let's do input equals scanner dot next. Just do dot next. Do string. We'll do if input dot length, and I've got parentheses. Actually, let's do first. If allow empty is true, and input dot length 0. I'm gonna do this. We'll think I'll debate that. Hold on. We'll figure out. We'll ask each other how we want to do that. So if that's not true, we want to do error. So S out. Something. Now somehow we want to make sure we repeat this method though, right? Kind of one then return input. But we want to loop this until, or loop this part here, not really the initializer, but getting the scanner.next into input and running this until we can get what we want, right? Make sense? So what looping structure should we use? What's
Do
loop?
while loop.
Do a do while, yep, do a do while. So you do. What's the while then? What's the condition?
Is empty is true. Allow empty is true.
Hmm.
Can you do like can't you just do a while loop and as well while the allow empty is not is
That's
true?
in the wrong spot. Hold on. I did this wrong. Hold on. My indentation's all off. I didn't like it. There you go. What I was thinking here is we probably could do a while true, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about that.
Here I can do continue. This is an interesting way of doing it. Otherwise, break. Kind of a little backwards than what we're used to seeing, right? So in this case, I get the data. If I get the data and I'm happy with it and I hit this line, the conditional doesn't fit, I break out a loop. Otherwise, if I don't get what I want, I'm going to continue the loop, which is automatically true, which means no matter what, as long as I hit this condition here, I'm going to loop back around to the do. See how that works?
Hmm.
Cookie, right? Take a look, take a couple seconds to look at it, make sure it makes sense.
Can't you just use allow empty if that's true to use it as the while true as a while true?
But not quite, because again, if I just check that, what if it's not empty though? So I just do allow empty, then if the allow empty is false, I only run once, period. Which we don't want. If the allow empty is true, that means anything I put in doesn't matter, whether I put anything or not, it's always gonna repeat. So, and I don't get the chance to print the error message then. So with this system, I'm checking to say, hey, this is invalid input.
One question, why do you-
if not allowed empty.
Yeah,
My
that's
bad.
what I was about to say that.
I see
Question.
what was a little confusing there. Sorry. So if
Why do you
we do
need
not
the
allow
Boolean
empty, but it
allowed
is
empty?
What's that?
So why do you want the Boolean in the first place within the parameters of the method?
And this is me again showcasing something. There is a reason for this in the long run of why I want to show this quick. Mostly again, just showing that you can create your own scanner type methods to make sure you get what you want and you can use it consistently. Part of this was the idea that technically the scanner.next system allows for just nothing. And we don't want that in our system, right? We don't want a fruit with the name of blank, right?
Yeah.
So we can at least check for that.
No. So my question is, why do you want the Boolean within the parameters when you could just have the Boolean equal input length is equivalent to 0?
Because what if I do want to be able to allow for a blank? Like, let's say the description. The description could be blank. I could let them do a
okay.
blank description, right? So that's what my idea there. The name cannot be blank. The ID cannot be blank. The description, fine. You want to make it blank, make it blank. So that's an optional field, if you ask me. Description is an optional field. So this allows me to say, you know what? This is kind of like, instead of saying allow empty, we could also mark this as required, right? If that makes better sense, you could say Boolean required.
Yeah, this is, but yeah, and just to quickly just go into a little, this is like on a database table to be not null. You could say if it's null or not null.
We can also just do that. Well, hold on. If we just hit enter on next, we get null or an empty string.
Hmm.
That would be an empty string, not null.
Yeah, no, but no, I'm just pointing out like in it you can have, they call it null because it is null, that you can have an empty field in the database to be in this, that you're saying you can have it yes or no.
You need the not in front of is required still, right?
Not anymore now. I kind of changed the terminology now. So I did change the terminology. Say now if is required and the length is 0, we want to yell at them.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, so we
Got
changed
it.
the terminology of the variable. So you had to change the logic now. Again,
Okay.
the logic could read as English. Originally it was like Boolean empty allowed, and they gave me an empty item. Well, then yes, we do want, that's fine. In this case, we're like, okay, this time we're now saying, so if the item is required, but, and they gave us nothing, we want to yell at them because it was required.
Hmm.
So I changed the logic a little bit, which is fine. I actually think this reads a little better now. So I
But
actually like
does
the
that
is
mean
required
it has to be true?
Yep. So if
So,
is
well-
required and the
Oh,
length
okay.
is 0, meaning they gave us nothing.
Yeah.
So now true and true
Yeah.
must
True,
enter
true,
something.
true. All right.
But if it is required and they gave us something, we don't want to yell at them anymore. And then if we yell at them, we want to continue the loops. We want to tell them to skip this break. We're going to skip the break and go straight to the while true, which they're just going to automatically repeat. However, if this if statement doesn't figure true, meaning that we got what we wanted, we have a valid input, we hit the break, which exit the loop without checking the condition. So the break exits the loop, it doesn't check the condition, which means we have what we want. We're going to return the input. Sound good?
Yeah, it's cool.
Cool. There's our get string. So now we can go down to our add product method. Again, get drink details now. This is going to look interesting. Return new, I forgot to give it a return type of drink. Or a drink is a product, so this is fine. Return new drink. And I'm going to do now, first one's name. So I'm going to do get string. Yeah, true. Let's see. We do next one's price. So we can do get int min 1 max integer dot max value. So we have no maximum price. We can say that the price can be whatever we want it to be. That we don't care about. That's what that allows us to do. So integer dot max value says I have no limit, right? Make sense?
1 second.
No worries.
Oh, integer. There it is. Okay.
So the good thing there is that none of you have to memorize what the maximum value of an integer is. You can just use the integer dot max value constant to get that number. Say, hey, we don't care. We don't have a maximum. But at least this way we can make sure that someone's not trying to enter 4 billion into our system, right? They're not trying to enter 4 billion cents into our system. That will get yelled at. They'll be like, hey, that's too high. We can't do that. So at least this way we don't worry about integer overflow systems. This is still capping our system off at least. So we have that, and then prompt price. Next item is the string again. So get string. That's going to be the ID. And again, is required. Next up, we got the description. So get string again. This one we can say is false. Don't require that. Another integer or volume. What's our, let's see, I guess we can do a min again, min 1. Integer dot max value, we don't care about it. So, prompt volume. Last item is, again, we're going to do either string volume unit or int volume unit. I'm going to do int and set it to this guy right here. So get int min 0. Oh, not that. Okay. 0. And yeah, we don't technically have any way of displaying the available ones we have, so we just have to know what they are, but that's fine. Do units length. One prompt. There we go. Bit crazy, right? Looks a little weird, but we see what's happening here, right? For every one of the fields, we're just asking for that item via our method that we have. Instead of creating multiple lines and multiple variables, we don't have to create a name variable, a price variable, a ID variable, a description variable, a volume variable, and value unit variable. I just call each of the methods inside the constructor. And so it's going to go down the line one by one and build each one by one, right? Let's prove that this works. I'm going to get rid of the case 2 for a second. I'm going to go ahead and save this. Why is the only, oh, because it might not be initialized. So I'm going to do also technically comment on the default just so that it knows that it can't do. Oh no, can't do that. Not a good thing to do, but it's fine. Yeah, see, it might be null, but at least now it's just a warning, not an error. So at least we'll get a warning now.
You won't
I can
even
put an
hit
if
that
statement
up. You don't even hit that default.
Yeah, there should be no way to hit it. Well, there currently is because I commented out the 2 and I do accept 2 as an input. But as
Yeah.
the developer testing, I know I'm not going to hit it. I'm just allowing it to be a warning, not an error. That's what this right now is. This is warning me that it can be null, whereas if
That
it's
is
not
kinda
defined, that's an
true.
error. So what?
Well, I'm just saying you have error, you have validation on
Yeah.
of getting
Right.
the choice.
But again, this allows me to get the number 2, and I'm not
Yeah.
checking for it under case 2 because get fruit details does nothing right now. So
Yeah, right.
that's
right.
all. Making it so that I can at least run the program. That's all I'm doing right now. Just trying to get it so that I can run it. So you can see that it works. So play. Yelled at me for add product. Why not? Oh, because it can't be referenced from a static. Oh, can't call non-static methods from a static method. All right, so handle menu selection cannot be static. I think the rest are fine.
I didn't have it static.
Yeah.
I wonder why you.
Yeah, handle menu selection cannot be static. Hey, if you didn't have it, that's fine. You must have, maybe you didn't type it or you've noticed that it should be removed. There we go. It's good. So you remove the static from handle menu selection because I forgot. Static methods cannot call non-static. Non-statics can call statics and statics can call statics, but static cannot call non-static. And that was the most craziest statement I've ever stated so far. That was a tongue tire.
No, it's not.
What? It makes sense?
I've heard-
All right, cool. Oh, you've heard worse? Okay. It may not have, it still may not have made sense, but it wasn't the worst. Got it. It's like, oh, cool, it made sense. Oh, no, I didn't say that. Cool. So let's go ahead and add a product. We can see we get the drink thing. We can only do drinks. So let's do drink and we get hi there again. And then nothing. Why? So what happened there? We head down to our add product. So we didn't get that. So we got handle menu selection. We got the hi there. So we put in the choice on drink. So where is that? That is over here. Oh, here. So add product did trigger. So we go to add product. We got choice get int 1 or 2. We got the hi there. So it should have come down here. So we created a new product. So how do we know what happened? How can we find out what happened? If we know, what are some techniques we can use?
We can system out the
Yeah,
choice.
let's see what lines hit. If certain things happen that we want them to happen. So S out 1. This is actually something I've done before. S out 2. Curly brackets in.
Couldn't you set breakpoints and use the debugger?
I hate that thing.
Oh, okay.
I've decided I used to use the debugger a lot, and I've just realized I can figure things out better with this because then I can just see where things ran. I'll put system out 3 here and S out 3 and then 4 there. And I'm just going to see, did this even run? S out. And this will let me know Where did I get to the code? Did I even get to these lines? Because I don't
So
even.
is
I
that
should.
specifically within the methods that you're trying to check on which methods are running and which ones aren't?
Yes, I'm trying to follow the flow of the program. Is the flow flowing the way I'm expecting it to? Is it going? Is the control of the method, the code going where I want it to go? Once I know that, I know where I can then finally where I should sit to start solving my problem. If I don't even hit this line, then I don't need to debug drink details yet. Drink details may work. If I don't hit 3 or 4, then I know that the switch statement is most likely what my situation is. The switch isn't working right. If I hit 4, then if I hit 5 and then 4, then I know that drink details went through, but it didn't work right because I didn't get these outputs. So this is going to let me know where my bug most likely sits. Right?
I think I know where it
This
is, but I'll let you run through it.
So let's add a product, add a drink. 1, 2, 3, and then 5. So I do get here. So what do you think my problem is?
And 4.
I think it's in your get string method.
I was wondering about that. Get string. We do string input, do input scanner next. Oh, I never put into the prompt, did I?
There it is. Yeah.
There it is. That's gonna be it. So it's working perfectly fine, I think.
It is. It's you just don't know it is.
Exactly. Yeah. Damn it.
No,
And
I
I
hit
was-
this. I hit the same thing exactly, so I know exactly what happened. That
We'll leave
went.
our console out to make sure that works, but let's see. One. Hey, drink name. What's our drink name we're adding?
Soy boy.
What is it? Soy boy? Do it like that.
It's
Price. What's it cost?
Well, it's
probably,
ve-
it's probably
it's ve-
$15.
it's very expensive, but yeah, we can go for 15.
I don't think I can do the underscore system here, though. I'm curious, can I? No, I can't. Okay, so we can't do underscore syntax in our console. Just be aware of that. 1599.
Yeah.
So again, so see how we're getting the high there every single time we do the get int. So probably gonna
Okay.
comment out our finally now.
What? See, I entered a wrong drink name and it said invalid entry, but then still went on to price.
What did?
Is that a problem?
No, yeah, well, yeah, because he doesn't have a validator on that because you can enter you can.
I did the underscore syntax and price. And that's why I was told invalid.
What's the
Well, no,
shortcut
but I
to
mean,
comment?
for my name, I
Oh,
put soy.
For
soy
Mac,
space-
it's command / command /. On Windows, I think it's control /.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
Yep. Anyway, what was the question, Sergio?
So in my screen, I did soy space boy, right?
Yeah,
And
that's fine.
then it said, and then it asked me for the price, and then
Uh-huh.
it threw the error. Maybe my invalidator is not correct.
Not sure, because unless you accidentally hit the double enter, give us try it again. Read around the program, try it again. If it happens again, we can share screen and take a look.
Let me see. Okay, so inventory, drink name. So I'm gonna put soy. I'm gonna put soy space boy again. It immediately asks me for a price. Java.lang
Yeah.
number from an exception for input string boy. Invalid entry. Price.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, try yourself.
Oh, I think I know why.
Because you're putting a space.
Next.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, it's the next. I'm using next instead of next line, ain't I?
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, damn it. That get string method is kicking my butt today. Yep,
mean-
next. I did do next line. Damn it. Next line. Would I do that with get with the integer too? Yeah, let's put next line here as well.
Ah.
So get in and get string, put next line instead of next. My mistake.
It's all good.
Didn't catch that. Sorry, it's surprised no one else did, but yeah. Probably because you guys trusted me again. That's certainly my trust.
Hey man, I'm glad I went with soy boy and not some boring like mango drink. There's only one word. We would have never caught that error.
The description is where I started having the same error as you. So I did description and I had spaces in my description and that gave me the same error. And that's when I was like, oh, we are having an issue. So at least I was able to replicate it. So there we go. We'll do soy boy again. 1899 ID P507 for as close to soy as I can get. Description, pure
501 would be
Right.
more closer to soy.
beverage.
Let's-
Volume, how much is in our, how much beverage do we have?
It's like 20 ounces.
20 ounces?
Oh,
Look at that.
do we have ounces?
We do, index
Oh,
1, so 20
okay.
and then 1. That'll give it to us. So that'll add it.
There's a
Right now, we
whole-
don't have a system that repeats our system, so we don't know for sure if it was added. We also removed the current items that we're adding already. So I'm actually gonna bring these back for the moment.
I have a way to print the array if we want to have that in our output.
Hold on. Maybe. I'm gonna do this. I do eventually want the UI to repeat, but for the moment, we're just gonna see if this add actually works. So let's do it again. Not a statement. What? Oh, I hit the button 1 apparently. Whoops. Do it again. Add a product. So you can see now we have we have our store. It's full of stuff now. Add another drink. We'll add the soy boy again. 99. P507. Description. Beverage. Volume 20 ounces. We see there is our drink
Oh.
as we wanted it with all the data we needed. Not bad, right?
How did you, sorry, I missed how you got that to come out like that.
What do you mean?
The printout at the bottom, what did you add to get
Oh,
that?
on main, sorry. I put back all of
Oh.
our items and just added into another get inventory line under UI.
Got it. Okay, never mind.
That's all. Yeah, currently our UI system is not a loop, so be aware of that. But at the moment, that's fine. We just want to run things one at a time for right now and make sure they work.
Sure.
With that being said, what time are we at? Good, we have another hour. I can do a little more. I'm actually going to, though, just for now, I'm going to skip doing the drink. I'm gonna have you guys do the drink. So I'm gonna do those. I'm gonna remove all my print lines now. It does not work. So remove all your print lines if you added them with me. Cool. All our debugs are now gone. So I'm gonna leave most likely part of the homework for tonight to Thursday is you guys are gonna create the get fruit detail one. So you're gonna create that one. I'm gonna leave that for you guys. So this is a to-do for you. The only thing to be aware of in get drink details right now is that, I'm sorry, and get fruit detail or fruit details is that we do technically have a Boolean version here, but I also want to make sure it's very clear. We do have an override that does not need the Boolean. So that's up to you whether or not you want to include a requirement on how to get the Boolean. So do be aware that that would be an additional challenge for you to be able to add another method in there to get the Boolean, of course.
Mhm.
So feel free to do that if you want. That's not required for the homework. But if you feel like this might be too easy, just building the get fruit details with this constructor, take the additional challenge, implement the get Boolean from the user. Sound good? That's that one. Cool. Let's move on to the next thing. Let's throw away a product. So we have just throw away product, display product, and sell product. To throw away a product, if we want to throw away a product, we probably need some sort of convenience system there. So let's imagine what a throwaway product would look like from a user's point of view. And what we're going to do here is we're going to discuss something, and this is a topic more designed around product creation and something you might even hear about during your job. And this is something we're going to dig deeper into when we get towards Spring Boot. We start building some websites. It's a concept known as a user story. And so when you're building a product for users, a great way to come up with how you want to build something or how to build a system is to think of the user's point of view. What is their flow through the program? And so if we go through the system right now and I play the program and I hit the number 2, what do I want to, how is that going to look? What is that going to look like when I do that? How should that work? Currently, it is displaying this item here, which maybe we want that, I don't know. But how should that display in our system? Any ideas? Walk me through your user story. So I want to hear from a couple people. Tell me what, if you hit the number 2, what would you expect to see and expect to have to do in order to throw away a product in our current system?
Select which product?
Yeah, you would probably expect the question to select which product, but then how do we know which product? So let's make sure the system here is displaying accurately. Let's hide these for a second. We only showed those for debugging purposes. I'm still gonna pre-fill the store with a couple bits of data. Now I play the game, I play the program. And I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna say number 2, and we're assuming that the system is going to showcase if I pull my annotation, that we're expecting to say.
If it's a small store, you could just print all the inventory. Otherwise, you're gonna have to do something else.
Right, because we're gonna, right now, if we just ask the question, we're just gonna see this, number 2, and then this is gonna ask what product. Well, as a user, it's gonna be difficult for me to enter what product unless I know by heart which one I wanna use, right? So what could be a good thing to have? First, before I ask what product, what should I do?
Product.
What is that, Mike?
This is the product.
I probably display it, right? We probably want to display the list first, and then we want to display and get the product. So ask them which
But
one.
what about if the store is a big store and you have like 1,000 products on it?
Yeah, then that's probably something we would want to do later on to scale it. Maybe say display, maybe we would give the option to display certain departments. So they could
Couldn't
do a
you
product
do
type
like,
or something.
couldn't you do like something like a search? So if you
Could
want
do that too, but
you could, if you want to delete something that's like a drink specifically, you know,
I would
and
say
then
that's
it's
probably a
gonna
little out of
be only the drinks.
yes, but I would probably say that's probably out of scale for the assignment for the classroom timeline that we have. Trying to implement some sort of searching system. We're going to create a semi-searching
Do it by
system.
product
Yeah.
ID at that point.
What's that, Mike?
Like, you could probably do it by product ID at that point,
Yeah.
which is close to what they do in real stores with
Yeah.
NPCs.
Yeah, so we'll probably display them and then type the user ID of the one we want to get rid of, or the product ID of what we want to get rid of. But yeah, definitely that's a great, what I will say though for you, Aaron, is that is a good concept thinking of scalability in the long term. Once we start getting larger, we're going to need some systems to make this a better product, a better program. Pagination, maybe display the products based on department or type, and also maybe implement some sort of searching system. But that's multiple levels of scope that we don't need just yet, right? Again, we need MVP. And honestly, the simplest, most effective thing that we can do is just print everything and deal with them. I've gone to supermarkets where when the cashier needs to enter the code for a certain piece of produce, they're flipping through a book.
Yeah.
I've literally seen them pull out a binder. And
Right now, we
flipping
just
through the
did the
binder,
wooden,
right?
a wooden
Yeah, but
airplane,
with
right?
the checkout now, all you have to do is just, when you're doing self-checkout, all you have to do is just search the ID code.
Right, but that's
or the-
modern, right? That was
Yeah.
not the first. That was not the first iteration of checkout or cashing out systems, right? I think came on. I'm sure in the beginning.
Markets still doing the book thing.
What's that?
There's plenty of small supermarkets that's still doing the book for
There are
produce.
still some that are doing it. I feel like one of them, like maybe even Savers is doing it because they're just trying to save on money. So why spend a bunch of money on a complicated computer software where you can just print out booklets, right? And have your workers memorize the numbers over time. That saves money.
Wow.
It saves money. It sucks, but it saves money. It's slower for the customer, but it does save money for the company. Because those POS systems can be really pricey to pay for the licensing on them.
Not only that, for the training, there's a lot of people that works that simply doesn't know how to operate.
That's what I was just gonna say too. You have a lot of people that might not know how to dive that deeply into a POS system.
Yeah,
and
very true.
The book is very user friendly for most people.
Yeah, no, pretty much anybody can use the book. Some people struggle with touchscreens. I still don't understand why, but they do. So we have to deal with that. And so, yeah, in the beginning, our first iteration, our wooden plane, so to speak, is just going to be display everything and let them deal with the giant list. If there's a giant list, there's a giant list.
Well,
Pay us to
I
create
would
the
say,
system.
yeah, I would say yes to the giant list, but also you can use, you can make an easily a two sub list by using type of, and you can just go through with type of, and if it's a type of fruit, just display all the types of fruits, or just display all types of the other or drinks. So you can
Very true.
actually, that's pretty quick to actually like implement as well.
Yeah, we could very quickly reuse this, what kind of product, and then just display the list with the type of system. Pull each product, check which type it is, and if it's the one we want, print it. If not, skip it. So there's a bunch you can do to improve on this system. But again, always think with the bare minimum, MVP. So let's just build a simple display products that just uses the already existing display inventory method of the store. So we're just going to do store dot, where is it? S out, sorry. Or, God dang it. Oh, it's static. That's why I can't do it. Why can't I access this thing? Right, static method. Static method can't use store. Store dot get inventory. There it is. And I believe that is going to be a string, so that's not going to display. So you do S out. That's all this is going to do. Display products will just print out the thing we already wanted. So we play again. Let me eliminate my art there. We'll do 3. I didn't mean to click that. We now have a display system. So now throwaway products can now start with display products. No.
It's static.
Right. Static can't call not static. Maybe it's not great to start with static. Display products. There we go. So we start by displaying the products, and then we're going to get from the user an input. And so we need to be able to ask them, well, which product do you want to delete? And what here is the easiest item we can search by that we will say must be unique?
ID.
All right. We're probably going to make sure that the IDs are unique. I will say, is our current system set up that way?
No.
Not yet, no. Our add product methods do not check for that. So that does tell us that at some point we probably do want to go into our store class, into the add to inventory product class here, and check. We already checked to see if we have enough price, but then we might also want to do a second check to also say, oh, hey, is this product already there, right? Is this product
you could
ID
do
already
like an
used?
automatic too, right?
So-
Like adding an ID automatically, like just incrementing.
You can auto gen one. Yeah.
We're gonna, yeah, that's gonna be another thing we're gonna add very shortly. We're gonna add a quantity system later on. So don't worry so much about that yet. We are gonna get to that. That is gonna be a thing we're gonna get into. That might be Thursday. That'll probably end up being Thursday. But I forgot how long the UI can take. I was hoping to actually get into that today, but we'll be doing that most likely Thursday. So it's fine. What is it doing? My one product. Go back to UI. Okay, so display products. So this I would assume is a string, right? So we can do string choice equals get string. Okay. And this cannot be empty, so it is required. True. They must enter something at least. Well, I guess no. Cancel. It's not required. All right, so now we get a product ID. But that means we have a product ID. It means we now need to be able to find an item in our list. So here's the next thing we need to deal with now. So now we need to search our inventory to find a specific product and get that product, right? That sounds like a method, doesn't it? That sounds like an action, right? Where does that belong? That search system, searching for a specific product. Does that belong in UI?
Store? No.
Yeah,
No,
store, right?
I would think it goes, yeah,
Or in the store.
inventory
Get
belongs.
product. So let's add a public product get product method. And do a string ID. And now we need to be able to search our list to find a product, right? Anyone know how to do that with a collection? To pull a specific product out of it based on a key.
On a key?
Yeah, based on a key in the object or a field, sorry.
Oh, okay. Makes a little more sense. I was like, key, I'm like,
I was thinking hash map. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute.
that would be, you need to get the ID.
But what's how do we do that in Java?
Oh, well. Oh, you want to, wait, get product. Oh, you just want to return. Wait a second.
The way I would do it would be to loop through the product list if that specific
Right,
item
return
matches.
There's a couple methods you have. So there's a couple options we do have, by the way. There is contains, but again,
It's
contains
so-
would be
You
the
could just
whole item.
do
So-
dot remove in the choice, right?
Yeah, remove if.
So there's something called contains, but what does contains require as a parameter?
An object.
We don't have the full object, do we? So contains won't work. We have index of, which again takes a object, but also have the instance of, oh, that one, yeah. So that one doesn't work for us, does it? Object O.
What did I use?
It was a lambda one.
I use something like that.
Oh, there's the stream. I don't want to do that one though.
Object
I thought they had a find.
equals.
They don't have a find. Do they? Nope, they don't. Oh, they do have a stream, which I don't want to do stream.
You could use remove if.
We don't want that though, so we don't want to actually remove it with this method. So we are just trying to get it so we can then run the remove technically the throwaway item, but
Yeah.
that is good to know that that exists. Maybe we would update our throwaway then, but I wanted to go through this. I forgot that there's no find. Yes, feel free feel free if you want to look at the stream.find any if you want to look into that. But yeah, the other system would be yes, to do a product. And then for product inventory. We can do item, but it's fine. Product and inventory. Actually, I don't need that. If product ID.
Do you want to search the whole inventory, or do you want to just search until you reach it?
You'll see. Good question. I like that you thought that. I'm also going to change this quick. We're going to change this quick to final public. I don't want to get a
Oh, I know what I did was.
Patience, hold on. After I do it. What's that? I figured it does not do a getter. I want to do the other version, the public final string ID. By this, we have it. We have the getter that can't be changed because once it's set in stone. So this is a getter that can't be. This is a public variable that cannot be modified. It can be captured and be gotten, but cannot be modified. So this is a built-in getter now.
So that's just functionally identical to making a getter then.
Yep.
Okay.
Except no logic.
Right.
So, yeah. So yeah, one thing you could do, yeah, if you do have a getter like this, you could just turn like for this. We actually could turn price to do the same thing, but the problem doing it now is that all of our get price methods would have to be changed to price. So for them, it's fine. I want to show the two different variations of it. So product.id. Equals ID return product.
Could you use map?
Java it has map. I didn't know it had map. Java has map.
Yeah, it has map. It's the root of hash map. It's just map.
Wait. Does Java have a collection spine? Not Lava Java.
You could use map dot values.
You could do that too, yeah. That's still the Stream API. Matter what, even that thing, we're still looping through it though. Even though with that thing looping through values, we still have to iterate through the whole list. So we're not saving any benefit. We're not saving any time that way.
The way I kind of did what I can't find the exact one, but what I did was I searched through the list, and once I found the list, you can get the index of what you found, and then you can remove that index with using a remove.
Sure, we can use the index too, but in this case, we can also just get the product and throw away the product.
Yeah.
That's how our throwaway method is set up. So we want the product for it. And I technically did that here. So I look through it. If I find the product, I return the product. And what does return do again? What's the power of return?
And the method.
Stops.
Yeah, it stops the method in its tracks. So I get the product. Note though that there's no guarantee that we're actually going to find that product. So that's why it's still yelling at us saying, hey, we're missing a return statement after the for loop. So what can we do if we don't find the product? If they gave us an ID that is not valid.
Sure, no, or
Everyone hear that?
Mhm.
Remember, when you're dealing with a data type here, we can return null. Can't do that with int or with boolean with the small b or long because those are primitive types. Primitive types cannot be null.
Shouldn't you print?
Classes can.
Shouldn't you print something saying that you could not find it?
Probably, but maybe not here. We can print that elsewhere. All product is in charge of is getting it. It doesn't have anything to do with displaying stuff or erroring. Product, this method's sole option is just to get the product and give it to them. If there's a problem with it, let them handle it. That's not my issue. I don't do anything with the front end. There's no system outs in this. So, oh wait, there's one. Caught myself, but yeah. This is a common practice to not worry about error messages in here. Let the UI do the error message. So in the UI, we can do the error checking and see, oh, we didn't get anything. So the choice, we're going to go ahead and do or dot get product. Product dot product prod equals product
Oh, okay.
choice. So we're going to give the choice. We're not going to validate the choice at all because if it's not a valid ID, we're just not going to get it. And now we can do if prod equal to null.
Right.
Out product.
So you should always live for the UI to print this kind of error.
Right, because that way, depending on what our interface is, depending on the interface, we might want to display the error differently. If we eventually turn this into some sort of API system, where it's a web-based system, and we're displaying a website, then it doesn't help us if we print to the terminal here and get product. That won't do anything for us. So get product just returns the product, says, hey, whatever you want this for, do what you want with it. I'll tell you that I didn't find it by giving you null. I will tell you I didn't find it. Here, that's what the null does. But it's up to the user interface to decide how do I want to display that? Do I display that with text? Do I display that with an image? Do I display that with colors? Do I display that with, how do I want to display that? Let the user decide.
An explosion.
What's that? Explosion, yes. Otherwise, so return again, here we say we didn't find it, so we're done. We've already, because we have no product to throw away, this method's now done. So if we hit this, we didn't find the product, we say product not found, and we finish this method because I've done my task. There's nothing to throw away, so I've thrown it away. Otherwise, we know we have a product, and so now we can simply do store dot throw away prod. There we go. We have our throwaway system. Let's see if that works. We'll display, we'll run it. Go ahead and do throw away a product. Which one do we want to toss?
Milk.
The milk's gone bad.
I was thinking the exact same thing. So we're going to do D 001. We don't know if it actually worked. Damn it. Back to main. Put that back in there again so you can see that it worked. Let's try that again. 2 D 001. Nah. Milk's gone. Let's see what
All
happens if
right.
we enter a one that doesn't exist. 2 D that nothing. We get the 404 product not found, which is exactly what we want. Gave her 404s, and nothing was removed. We're good. Looking good. The last system we have in mind is our cell product system. The last one, right? All right. So how are we thinking this might work? How might this work?
Remove from the inventory and add the price to your balance.
Right. We're probably going to do the exact same thing throwaway does, but we're going to make the money too. So we almost identical to throwaway, except we're going to add the funds too. So we want to do one quick thing. We know throwaway here does do the inventory.remove, but doesn't do the add to balance. So we probably want to do a quick public void. Let me do that. Oh. Public, thank you. Void purchase. Product. Balance plus equal. Product dot price. And then what's fun about this is we can actually just take advantage of throwaway. Even though we're not actually throwing it away, we are doing that. And just take advantage of that method right there. That look good?
Not sure yet.
All right. You let me know when you feel like it is.
What I mean? Jelly bean.
All right, so let's take a second and think about this. So, do we want to display the products in our in our cell product system?
Cell? Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
if you want to do that.
Wouldn't
so-
you want to?
all right.
Wouldn't you just want to display the product that was sold?
Well, we need to pick the product to sell, right?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Right. Switch products. We then need to pick a product to sell, right? So we kind of need this again, don't we? The get string, but just a different prompt. So I'm going to grab this technically again.
What the hell?
And now it has to be required.
What the?
Still press enter to cancel if we wanted to, couldn't we? In case the
That's true,
customer
that's
decides
true.
not to buy. So
Yeah, that's true.
so locking them in. We'll again we of course want to capture the product that they entered. We of course want to make sure it's not null. If it is, we're not going to that the product doesn't exist. And then instead of throwaway though, we're going to do store dot purchase, right? Product. Any issues right now?
Yeah.
What?
Give me a second.
Oh yeah, other than that. Any issues with the code?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's duplicated. Can't you just like make it into one?
Yeah, it's repetitious, right? We have this code here and this code here is repetitious. So let's ask ourselves, what is this code doing? What is the purpose of this code?
Verify a product.
Yes, it does
Just
do that.
display and
More.
verify.
Not
Just
display
display
and
and
verify.
verify.
It's selecting a product, right? With this system, we're allowing
yeah.
a person to select a product. So maybe we can create a private product. Select product. And we probably just need the prompt, right? What is the unique prompt that we want to display, right? So we'll do again. Prompt. Copy all this, we'll cut it, paste it in there, replace the string.
You could ask for the Boolean too, right?
We could if we feel like that might be different. For the moment, it's not, so we can keep it the way it is. I'm going to cut it, do prompt so I don't have to retype that again. So I I copied that text, by the way, just so you know. Over here, I'm gonna do, oh, right, return null. Oh, right. This I didn't want to bring over. Hold on.
Oh.
If statement didn't need to come over.
Got it.
Technically, well, maybe it could.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm gonna have to do the if statement. Otherwise, I'll have to do the if statement again anyway, so it doesn't matter. So I wouldn't need to do this. So this is gonna be a little repetitive, but it's fine. We do have to keep that in there. Prod. Product. Prod. Equals select product. And I'm gonna paste that prompt in there. Yeah, definitely you could also add the is required as well. We could do that if we wanted to. And then here, we no longer need to store the prod. We can just return it now. So here we can just do return. Why are there parentheses there, by the way? Weird. All right, there we go.
Okay, can you hold on these for
Yep,
a
I'm
couple
holding.
seconds?
I was just about to ask the same thing. Thank you.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Go throw away, to throw away.
Okay, so that's
Yes.
One sec.
Time to meet.
I need to whenever everybody catches up, I need to look at the cell product real quick again.
What?
The cell, when Matt is done, I just need to look at the cell product. It's the same as the
Oh.
throwaway, right?
The cell product is purchased, and yeah, well, we haven't updated that one yet. Yeah, we haven't updated the
Oh,
cell
okay,
product
okay,
yet.
okay.
Yeah.
You're just on.
I was waiting
throwaway.
here, yeah, so people can catch up
Okay.
on this first, and then we're gonna update the cell product. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I don't know.
If you want, feel free to try that and see if you can update it yourself, so you can figure out how to update it.
okay. I think I'm good. Just one more cursory check.
No worries. Take what you need.
Okay, I think I'm all set.
Awesome. So yeah, we're just gonna do the same thing now in throwaway product. I'm gonna get rid of these 3 lines, or at least, yeah, with these 2 lines, honestly. All right, hold on. Actually, I want to
Oh,
capture this.
I took that. Oh,
Copy the
I see what I'm
text.
gonna do. Okay.
So I'm gonna copy the text here in cell product. I'm gonna go down to here, get rid of all that. We're then going to change this to select product and paste in that text. Which product I need to purchase. There we go. We have something a little bit cleaner now. I'm probably also gonna move this method above the system. That way the select, throw, and purchase are kind of next to each other. There we go. All right, let's see if this works now. Before we do that, I want to go to main quick. I'm going to put in the get balance again like we had before. Move that down here so we can see that the item was sold and that the balance was updated. So let's try it. Let's rerun the program. Currently our system, oh, I'm missing a semicolon. God dang it. Jim, you didn't catch me. 31. Yeah, not that. We're there. Semicolon.
That's way at the end.
Yeah. Got it. All right. So we're $500, which I probably should have displayed again after because I didn't show the product. Hold on. I'm also going to do. Where'd the balance go before too? Oh, I'm going to just use this. Copy. Here again. I'm going to place that one, not this one actually. So we want to display the balance after we bought all of our initial produce. So let's run it. Button. Where's the button? Right there, that one. There we go. So now we see the balance we currently have. Let's go ahead and sell a product. What are we buying? Matt, I think you said something, you're muted.
Oh no, I'm just memeing. Don't mind me.
Okay.
I said, "What are you buying?" in the Resident Evil 4 merchant voice.
What are you buying?
Yeah.
Sounds right. Not surprised. And
Do the
Keith buys a
dragon.
little more inside.
Never goes away, does it?
Nope.
It will not. The gaming meme, and for me, it's the gaming memes. For Arnell, it's Game of Thrones and Star Trek and Star Wars and stuff like that. You'll get those memes with him. With me, you'll get the gaming references.
Game of Thrones is awesome.
There's different levels of.
I have
geek, you know?
avoided that movie, that show, because I know it would absorb my time way too much. So I've avoided
so
Game of
good.
Thrones specifically because
game.
I would lose all my time.
I've never seen it.
Really?
Neither have I.
I've never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones.
Oh, you
Oh,
guys
I'm
don't know what you're missing.
I know. I don't know what
watched
I'm
the
missing.
first
I
season,
know that I
honest.
want to see it. I
It's
know I
okay.
will love it.
I'll sit down and watch it, Keith, when you pick up a controller and start gaming.
I will for sure do that. That's how strongly I feel about this.
Oh no.
Don't worry, Keith. You have my entire understanding that I know I will love it, and that's why I so far have not
One
watched
of the best
it, 'cause
shows I
don't-
think I've ever
I
seen.
can't devote
It's
the
like-
time to it.
Like top
Twin
5.
Peaks is better.
It will absorb all my time, and I can't do that. I can't do
What's
that to
better,
myself.
Jim?
Twin Peaks is better.
Twin Peaks is good too, but I don't think it's better. No way. No
Oh,
way.
geez, geek fight. Here we go. So what are we
I just
buying?
like Doctor Who.
Oh,
Doctor Who.
That's a show I also feel like I
Do
really
we
like.
have any fuck around products there?
What are we buying?
Yeah.
Dragon fruit.
dragon fruit. Okay.
What did you say, Eridan, by the way?
Can't even believe it.
Why don't we have any fuck around products?
I mean, they didn't want to do the soy boy, so.
Well, again, we've added that menu. We didn't add any fuck around products in this section. When I asked everybody for products, they all gave me serious stuff. I was expecting a fun product before this. I was like, wow, we took to the 6th product to finally get a fun one. Every single time I asked, I'm like, where's the fun one coming in? Everybody gave me an actual product. I'm like, all right.
Take this store pretty serious.
We do. We definitely care about our store. So we went from 479 to 484. So we did, in fact, successfully sell the product. We got our money back for it. We are a nonprofit store where we sell everything at cost currently, though.
Nice.
So probably not the best way of running a business, but
It's a tough business model.
it's a bit tough.
The state pays.
There we go. Yep, that would be amazing. Good luck getting that to happen. And geez, all of our throwaway is going to be a real hit then.
Nice.
Let's see. So we got that working. We got that working. All that's working. Last thing we need to do is just make this a looping system. And then, so actually I'm going to end it here because actually that's what I'm going to have you guys do. There's 2 things for you guys to do for Thursday then. Turn our UI into a looping system. So again, back here. Loop.
That's the start. Right.
There we go. You also have the what's the one for? The other to do, which is the drink. I think I was going to say the drink detail. Oh no, the fruit details, right? So make that, and then this guy is no longer done. We can actually get rid of that one. Can I not delete it from here? I don't think I
Should
can.
be able to.
Not sure how, so I'll just do that. So you got those 2. And then the last thing I want you guys to consider for a second is how might we want, where is there's still a single major problem that our current application has where we really couldn't publish this to the world. Even as basic as this could function, other than the fact that when we turn it off, it loses its entire database. But besides that, there's still another major issue that some places of America could not use this. Any ideas what it might be?
This is in America.
What's that?
No, I'm just trying to repeat
Oh.
what you're saying. Some places
Okay.
in America.
Well, I guess I don't need a RSA.
Like
just in America,
Canada,
but
Mexico, South America.
Why couldn't I go
the
there? though?
Americas.
What?
Why couldn't I go to Mexico with this program?
Because the currency is different.
What currency? What else?
And the units of you're not using metric, you're using like gallons, you're using imperial.
Language.
There it is, Keith. Thank you.
Oh.
Language, right? That's the first issue we have. That's the major issue. Who cares about the units and the money? That's just a simple math item, right? We can very easily have our program convert that for us. The language is a big problem, right? We have all this English
Because
in
it
it.
doesn't say in Canadian, do you want your balance A?
I believe Canada is actually French, is their thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Some parts.
Yeah, I think Canada's official language is both French and English, with French being
Doesn't it
primary.
sell real bacon, not that Canadian bacon stuff. Come on.
But we have that problem. Yeah, we're not.
French
We
is
don't
only in
have
Quebec.
other languages. What's that, Erden? What?
French is only the primary in Quebec. Quebec?
Oh,
I don't know how to pronounce
Quebec.
it.
I say
that's
Quebec,
right.
but who knows what the French way of saying it is?
Quebec wants to succeed from Canada via French only place.
But so yeah, I mean, not Canada, but Mexico or a lot of the Hispanic countries, or we bring it over. We can't bring this to France. We can't sell this in France. It's not going to work there, right? And so think for a second, like that's going to be a pain in the butt trying to rechange this system to be able to do multiple languages in this single class, right? Changing this class to handle those scenarios is going to be a real difficulty, isn't it? And so that's what we're going to look into as our first example of a type of interface. We're going to create an interface where one will do the English text and the other one will do will do Spanish text. So I am going to need some assistance from the Spanish speakers of the class to help me with that. Just a heads up. Be ready for that. You're a
That's why
Spanish speaker,
games
be
are like,
ready. Otherwise, I'm going to have to have my
like-
wife sit with me on Thursday. But we're going to change the language
Class
of
to
it.
be no es bueno.
No es bueno.
Uno más.
I know.
I actually have a website that I
What did you
developed.
say about
to
my
act-
mom?
I have that exact problem because I want to
Yeah.
do in Portuguese and in English, but
Yeah.
I figured that like it's not a good way just to do 2 times the same thing.
Right, you don't want to do that. So what we're going to see is we're going to be able to.
Eu
we're gonna
gosto das
update-
mulheres.
We're-
Wait
in the
a
next version
moment.
of this,
Wait a minute.
in the next version of this, we
You guys
are going to
talking about me?
That's the thing. You guys could probably talk about it.
Hey,
We wouldn't
we
have no
might-
idea.
We might.
The problem is, I don't think you can actually get away with that in Spanish. There's a good number of words in Spanish that actually sound similar to English words.
Yeah.
There is actually a few, but so again, what's going to happen on Thursday is actually we're going to adjust this method a bit, this class a bit more to make it an interface class. We're going to make an interface version of it where the methods will be defined, but the fields will not. So there's two common types of interfaces. One is where the fields are guaranteed, but the methods are not. So the methods are already predefined, but the fields are like, hey, the fields are different in everyone. Everyone's fields are going to be different. Like these, for example. In other versions of interfaces, all the methods are unique in each one, kind of like the abstract classes. So very similar to abstract classes, where the methods are not set in stone. They're different in each instance. And now we're going to be able to see how we can use the interface to then be able to, at the implementation of the UI, we can pick which one of the two UIs we want to use, and we will utilize that one. And so then we'll be able to look into a little more of how the differences between an abstract class and an interface go into play. But overall, this is where an interface is more designed. An interface is supposed to be how one class interacts with another class. That's the purpose of an interface. You're supposed to use an interface when you're dealing with how one class interacts with another class. In this case, it's going to be how the store interacts with the UI, or how the program interacts with the user. Abstract classes is the idea of how another class is the child of another class, how you pass down information. That's where so while yes, we could of course make UI an abstract class and make the English and Spanish versions of it as child classes, I want to make sure we're using the two items as they were intended. Interfaces for class-to-class communication, abstract class for inheritance. That makes sense?
I might be jumping myself here, but is that what you're saying is that we are gonna like create variables for each of the fields and then have like another archive that's like the Portuguese, the Spanish, the English,
Possibly.
that's just gonna fill it all?
Pretty much.
Because I do that on React with context.
Yeah.
You have like
Very
one,
similar, yes. Very similar
one
system.
file for the whole page.
Yep. Very, very simple concept. Yep. Similar concept. So unfortunately, we're not going to build a translator. Sorry. We'll probably end up using Google Translate a couple times, but yeah, wait. So you know Portuguese? Is that your language?
Yeah,
Pardon?
I speak Portuguese.
My stepfather's that. Unfortunately, the only Portuguese I learned from was Comer agora. The only Portuguese I learned. Eat now. That's all you need though when you're dealing with Spanish people, with Portuguese people. That's the only word you need to know. Eat now. If you know that, you're pretty much good.
And the curse words, man. Come on.
I do know those, but I'm trying to behave a little bit. We've
wanna
said
say
enough
one,
explicitives today. Come on, Keith. No.
I do know one Portuguese word.
Nice.
Whatever.
What do
Swear.
you mean?
Oh, you
You
live
only know
in
one? I've
Bristol.
been
You should
called
know
an
a lot.
Yeah.
Eridan,
I
you
went to
asked if I
East
knew the
Province High.
explicitives. I've been called the Portuguese explicitives before. Come on. He's my stepfather. I've pissed him off before.
I'm sure
I can
a
say
lot.
that. I
Wrong
have
with this
pissed him
guy.
off. But that's your guys' assignment. So think about that concept. Think about the idea that, yeah, we're going to change our system with the user interfaces. We can hot swap. You'll be able to hot swap them without changing the code of any other part of the program. That's one of the real benefits of an abstract of an interface system, is that we can very quickly and easily swap out interfaces and change them so we can use different systems. And we're actually going to be able to look at that at some points later on. So we're going to at some point be able to have a system where we can have one of our menu items in our store. I hope to be able to do this. If I can figure it right. I hope I did. Now that I think about it. Did I actually plan for that? Because I realized I can do this. I'm hoping to add the number 6 option, or the number 5 option, as being change language. And we'll just pick one of the 2 languages and have the store swap the user interface that it's using. And yet still be able to interact the exact same way, because all the logic is the same. It's just the strings that are different. And so the interface will show us how we can do that.
I'm sorry, but shouldn't it be like the first question that you get? Which language do you want?
Yeah.
Probably, but at the same time, we also will want to change it throughout the day, maybe, especially if this is a self-checkout kind of thing or something, who knows, or if it's a shared system. But definitely we can have that as be the first question first, and then be allowed to change it, because I also want to show that hot swappability part of it.
Yeah.
You can swap.
Can you push that to Git?
Oh, right.
Yeah, when you start a new game for the first time, like the first thing it'll ask you is like usually what language is, right? And then through the main menu options, you can change the language at any time. So
you can also use I don't know how to say it, but like get the person's system language. So if he's using like a computer in Spanish, it's gonna default to Spanish.
Get local. So get local. That would involve environment variables, which we're not getting into right now.
Well, quick question: when you sold the product, that's supposed to get added to the balance, right? You should.
Correct.
But why is mine subtracting? I don't understand. I mean, drive me crazy here.
Not sure, unless you're doing, that would be the add to inventory if you're deducting.
I mean, in our cell, I maybe I fell behind a little bit, but in our cell product, after the if statement, you have a store.purchase, right?
Yep, and store.purchase does the balance plus equal.
Exactly, plus equal. That's how I have it. Why the hell is it?
Share your screen.
What the? Hold on.
There you go.
See this? Let's see this madness.
Let's take a look here. See,
run the program first.
Let me run it, right?
Yep.
So right now I only have my balance. Here you go, right?
Well, you didn't deduct the products in the first place. So hold on, I can already tell you what it is. That balance is incorrect. Go to main.
Oh.
Move the get balance down below these 2 adds. So yep, put it there. Now run it.
It was just that. Huh?
There you go. So you were selling it, and you did actually earn money because it showed 490 something or whatever. Yeah, sell.
Then
Let's buy the soy boy.
Well, sell, right? I'm gonna sell
do
the
4. Yep.
And
then
then
do 001. Yeah. And there you go. You're good.
Or okay, hold on. 485. Okay. All right. Okay.
It works. You're good. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
You're fine. Awesome.
Anybody want soy boy? All right.
I still haven't actually made that yet, so I feel like that would be an excellent joke product that would probably sell pretty decently.
Don't think so, but it's funny.
You know the slogan already. You stare into the abyss and chug that shit.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Any questions on the assignment?
I'd like
No.
to see a drink class real quick, Cliff, the top.
Drink, oh, sure, definitely. Share screen, the drink class, you said?
Yeah, I just want to see what your string units is set to. Is it
Oh,
private?
it's an urban thing.
Oh,
So
it's public, right?
Oh God, I didn't know that
Public
was
final.
that.
Public final.
Yep.
Actually, I'm sorry.
What's up, Sergio?
The urban definition of soy boy.
You did it. Oh, I thought that's why you were doing
I
it.
didn't know. So let me read it to you. So the
You
urban
didn't?
dictionary, the
Oh,
urban
no.
dictionary defines it as a soft little bitch who can handle the slightest amount of pressure and will get triggered by almost anything.
I thought that was the whole joke. I thought that's why you brought it up, Sergio.
Alex Jones is a big hitter of that term, and no, there was two of them.
I
It was
didn't
him
know.
and
You gotta get your male
is it
enhancement
Crowder?
supplements. Yeah,
Is it
Steven
Crowder?
Crowder.
I
had
thought it
heard
was
it.
him. Yeah,
I had
those two
heard
are the
the
two
term.
biggest people that
I
say
heard
those
them
that
use
say
it
that word.
on, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I don't know if
They
you
probably
watched
said it. Yeah,
Yeah.
those two are the biggest ones that push that term right now. And yeah, even though I think one of the products they sell literally, if you look at the ingredients, says contains soy. Love it.
That's
Like, are you
hilarious.
kidding me?
It's America.
Ass idiots. Capitalism at its finest.
Yeah.
We're gonna rag on this crap, but then we're totally gonna sell it to you and not tell you that we're selling it to you. We're making you
Yeah.
soy boys while we ridicule you. Yeah, wonderful.
In Brazil, there is
They really are the snake oil charmers of the modern era.
in Brazil there is a cachaça that's called na bundinha, which means on your little ass.
All right. Well, I love being American and seeing things in restaurants called names of other languages. Like literally in my hometown of Warwick, where my mom lives, a little bit down the street, there is a Japanese restaurant called Mizu. Does anyone actually know what that word means?
Water.
It's
Water?
literally, yeah,
Like lunch.
literally just water. The restaurant is called Water. It sounds amazing when you say Mizu though. So it sounds like a wonderful restaurant. Mizu. Sounds great. But then you realize, oh, that's just literally like I called a restaurant Water.
I heard the word vodka is just water in Russian.
Bog?
Vodka.
No, vodka,
Oh,
is
vodka.
close enough. It's vada.
It's like
Yeah.
it's super close.
It's
Yeah,
very,
but-
very
but-
close. And that's why
vada
that's why the
is-
running joke is that, yeah, Russians drink vodka instead of water. That's where the joke comes from. Because the two words are very, very similar. At least that's my understanding of the joke. I won't pretend to say that I know that for sure, but I believe that's my understanding where the joke comes from, or the meme.
Oh, sorry, I didn't add that one. Implement the following method. Is that the only two to-dos you added? The looping system and then that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, just two to-dos. So as long as you check on my code on GitHub, you'll see the two to-dos. So you'll have them. Any other, oh, Jesus, all the soy boy stuff is in the recording too. This is gonna be a fun recording for people to look at later. I might have to deny people from looking at this one. This one I might actually have to go in and cut and trim. I might have to.
That's my bad. Yeah, that's it's professional stuff.
YouTube's gonna flag us now.
Oh, that's true.
Like, look at all the swearing and all the derogatory terms.
As long as it's not within the first minute of the video, you'll be fine.
There you go. I
And
don't
how
know.
do you
Didn't
know that?
Sergio and Keith both kind of complain, swear in the very beginning of it? I don't think I was
He
recording
knows
then.
because
I don't
of
think I was
reasons,
recording then. Where's the button? Let's stop now while we're ahead.